30, I'm James Jarman. We begin with Bush administration's handling of the war back here at home. Several peace protesters were forcibly removed from the St. Patrick's Day parade. It was caught on home video. It happened early this afternoon after police say the demonstrators refused to leave the parade. There were several of them, I should say, were handcuffed and ticketed for failure to disperse. Police say they were forced to remove the demonstrators after many sat down and wouldn't leave. The demonstrators say they were, allege, I should say, police brutality.
This is another example of the same kind of intrusion upon our nonviolent civil liberties by undue force.
When an individual determines that they're going to sit and they're not going to cooperate with the officer and stand up and walk off the parade route, then it's pretty much required by the officer to carry them off the route.
Well, the demonstrators say they had the proper permit to walk in the parade, but police say the parade director asked that they be removed.
Rock war and Springs police during the St. Patrick's Day parade on Saturday. The arrests were captured on home video. It started when several demonstrators were asked to leave the parade by organizers. They refused and many sat down or laid in the street. Police then placed several in handcuffs and forcibly removed several others. The demonstrators say police used excessive force and violated their constitutional right to organize, while one independent observer disagrees.
Once the police had made a decision to enforce what they felt was the law, the protesters really had an obligation to obey the police. But that's exactly what they were there not to do.
Levy says the demonstrators drew more attention to their cause by being arrested. Springs police say the demonstrators did not cooperate, were breaking the law, and they were forced to carry them off the parade route. As we mentioned at the top, parade organizers asked police to intervene.
It's now been going on longer than World War II. The Bush administration really has to find some kind of resolution to the situation. Either a unilateral withdrawal that leaves the country in very bad shape politically, or settling down for a long haul in which there are steady American casualties. Either option is really very unpleasant.
Arrested at Saturday's St. Patrick's Day parade. They say they plan to defend themselves in court. 11 News reporter Catherine Cook is live downtown, and Catherine, they will have legal representation.
That's right, Don. It turns out one of the 7 people arrested is actually a lawyer. So what they're doing now is trying to figure out how to prove they were mistreated on Saturday for holding peace signs out here on the parade route. Their mission was simple:
to be a sign of peace in the parade.
And simply unwelcome. Parade organizer John O'Donnell says what members of the Pikes Peak Justice and Peace Commission did here was make a social statement.
We have never, ever, ever allowed a social issue to be in context with a parade.
Which is too bad, says Betty Kerwin. She was one of 7 activists arrested after refusing to leave the parade. She doesn't think peace is a social issue.
It seems that peace, unity, and harmony are a part of community.
But it's O'Donnell's parade, and by banning the activists, he says he was just trying to complete his mission, keeping spectators safe.
I'm responsible for the public safety of 30 to 40,000 people downtown.
Back here live downtown, the group says they plan to meet several times before their April 10th court date.
Springs prompt a police internal investigation. 11 News reporter Michelle Mollison joins us now. And Michelle, the police department has launched this investigation. Why?
Right. They haven't received any formal complaints yet, Shannon. However, officers arrested 7 peace activists this weekend, and now they're asking for witnesses to those arrests to come forward to help their investigation into what happened.
It was scraping bare skin. My pants just kept coming down. It hurt very bad.
Now in this home video, you can see what happens when 65-year-old Elizabeth Finneran refused to stop protesting. She was handcuffed and dragged across the street. One of 7 peace activists taken away after the parade's organizer pulled the group's permit to be in the parade. Now internal affairs investigators will look into whether the officers acted properly.
We determined that it was important for us to take a very close look at this, and that's why we initiated an internal investigation into the situation.
Now, the police department wants anyone with pictures or video of the incident to come forward. In the meantime, Shannon, the 7 peace activists arrested will make their first court appearance on April 10th.
Michelle, thanks.
Believing that peace is a positive message.
It was shock and awe for us. They just came out of nowhere in battle gear.
Shocked because they weren't wearing or carrying any anti-war, President Bush, or Iraq displays. They say police unnecessarily roughed them up when they wouldn't stop marching.
And I said, well, you need to speak to the permit holder, Eric Verlo, who is in a truck behind us, and he has a valid permit, and he invited us to walk with him. And he said, well, the police are going to be here. And with that, the police arrived. And they didn't ask any questions.
Police moved in, and nobody would give us an explanation for why they were ordering us out of the parade and why. And they handled people very roughly from the start.
Colorado Springs police confirmed they're looking into the incident. Derlin says the city attorney, a personal friend of his, told him Internal Affairs is investigating. Police say officials at the parade contacted them that a group was attempting to march in the parade without a permit, a group with an anti-war message which would be in violation even if they did have a permit. Police say they contacted about 45 protesters there at the St. Patrick's Day parade and told them they needed to leave. The 7 that didn't, who were given orders to leave, were physically removed and arrested for failure to desist or disperse. Joe, back to you.